Welcome back to the channel. I am Eric, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Immaculate Collection and how it secretly re-engineered the sound of pop music. This was actually a suggestion from someone who left a comment on one of my ranking videos. They asked me to do a video explaining what the hell Q sound was, so I thought, hey, let's do a deep dive of the Immaculate Collection and explain what Q sound is while we're at it. For those of you who are not familiar with the Immaculate Collection, it was Madonna's first greatest hits compilation. It sold more than 32 million copies worldwide, and to date it has spent 141 weeks on the Billboard 200. When I was young and I got this CD, I loved to look at the packaging. I loved to look at everything about it. And one thing that you may notice, a logo on the CD that says Q sound. What the hell was Q sound? Q sound was a positional 3D audio algorithm. It manipulates timing and frequency to produce a binaural image, making instruments sound like they are coming from outside of the physical placement of your speakers. What? It's basically them trying to create surround sound from a left speaker, right speaker. To hear the effect, you had to be sitting in the sweet spot directly in between your speakers. Q sound is a producer side technology that's applied during the initial mixing phase. It allows audio engineers to take individual instruments or sound effects and precisely place them in a virtual 3D space before the final track is mixed down into two standard channels. Why then did Madonna decide to use Q sound? Well, this was after she had completed her Blonde Ambition tour. She decided to start preparing her greatest hits compilation. And Madonna wanted to use Q sound technology because she rejected the idea of releasing a slipshod greatest hits compilation. She wanted to avoid a basic career recap that simply repackaged the original radio versions of her past hits. The album, though, was on a strict deadline to be released in time for the 1990 Christmas shopping season. Producer Shep Pettibone, alongside Go Hatoda and Michael Hutchinson, had to rework all 15 classic tracks in just a month and a half. Pettibone described it as a hurry-up job that had to be out last week. Due to time constraints on what you could fit on a standard CD, almost every track on this album was completely remixed in some form. So let's take a quick look at all the tracks and how they differ from the original versions. Holiday is a new remix that is slightly sped up. It features added percussion and it fades out earlier than the original. As you can see, the original clocked in at 6 minutes and 8 seconds, and the version that we ended up with on the Immaculate Collection was only 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Lucky Star is an edited version similar to the original single mix. You will notice that this is a crapshoot when you go to streaming because modern digital and Dolby Atmos releases often replace this Immaculate Collection mix with the 7 minute and 15 second new mix. So you'll never get the Immaculate version on streaming. As you can see, a lot of that song got cut out. Borderline. This version is edited down and removes the synths found in the verses of the original. Digital platforms often use the full 5 minute and 17 second album version instead. Like a Virgin, this one was slightly sped up with louder drums and an added metallic sound effect during the choruses. Material Girl was the first song that I could tell the difference on. And that was mostly because instead of fading out at the end, it is a cold out, like the living in a material world. That was the end, and instead of just fading out. And I actually thought that was kind of cool. So on my little mix cassettes that I would make myself, I always included the Immaculate Collection version because I thought the out was so cool. Doing my research, I found it has louder drums, a slightly faster tempo, and they've doubled the background vocals. Next, we have Crazy For You. And while some fans consider this structure identical to the 1985 original, it is officially classified as a remix due to the Q sound rendering. To promote the compilation, a Crazy For You remix was even released as a single in 1991. Into the Groove. This one is essentially a shorter version of the You Can Dance remix. It features a different intro, more sound effects, and a new piano solo near the end. And fun fact, if you're here as a newer Madonna fan, I know in my comments I have seen a lot of people that are just now exploring Madonna's discography. So if you're here kind of to learn about Madonna's history, then a fun fact about this one is Into the Groove wasn't actually a single, and it didn't chart on its own. It was the B-side to the 12-inch of the Angel single. So add that to your collection of Madonna knowledge that if you're ever on a game show, you may need. Madonna game show. Producers, if you're out there, I'm just going to put it out into the universe. I think that I would be an excellent contestant for a Name That Tune Madonna version. Live to Tell. This features a richer, more polished sound. It has an edited intro and an earlier fade out. Papa Don't Preach was sonically richer with some variations in the background vocals added during the Q sound. Open Your Heart. The track was edited down from its original length. Some listeners described the early fade out on this version as criminal. All to save some seconds on a CD. Aren't we glad we don't have to worry about that anymore? La Isla Bonita. And this starts without the bongo intro. And it features a richer bass, but it's edited to cut off before the final la 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 la. Dijo que te amo. This one did not go number one. It only peaked to number 4. And then we get into Like a Prayer. They were so worried about time so that they had enough space to fit it onto a CD. And there were actually 2 songs that the edits got longer on Immaculate. Like a Prayer is the first one. This was a major remix based on the Blonde Ambition tour version rather than the studio original. It removes the instrumental section near the beginning. Express Yourself. This mix was based on the music video mix rather than the album version. It includes a new intro and an additional chorus near the end. Then we have Cherish. This was heavily edited to reduce length. It loses a full repeat of the chorus and the who, you sequence near the end. This was a number 2 Hot 100 single when I was making my visuals for this video, because this is not AI. I made this whole presentation that we're looking at here. I wanted the Billboard Hot 100 chart positions. Cherish was a number 2 single the summer of 1989. I would have never guessed that. It's one of my least favorite Madonna singles, but it was a hit that summer. And then next we have Vogue. This one is the other song that the edit got longer on the Immaculate Collection. The Immaculate Collection has a longer intro than the original I'm Breathless version. It features richer bass, an extended instrumental section after the rap, and this one you can totally hear the Q sound. If you're in the sweet spot, the rap sounds like it's coming from above you. And then we closed out the album with Justify My Love and Rescue Me. Both of these were new songs for the album, so they don't have original studio length versions. This is their studio length version. Justify My Love peaked at number 1. Rescue Me peaked at number 9. So what happened to Q Sound? The original Q sound algorithm was meticulously engineered to trick your ears by bouncing sound from a sweet spot between 2 physical speakers. It didn't translate well to headphone listening. As the market shifted towards iPods, smartphones, and Bluetooth headphones, listeners found that Q Sound's heavy phase shifting and delay processing made the center of the audio mix sound noticeably hollow and unsatisfying through earbuds. Today, Q Sound has effectively been replaced by object-based spatial audio technologies. Modern formats like Dolby Atmos are much more reliable at creating immersive binaural D audio that works natively across both multi-channel home theaters and standard headphones. But there for a while, in the early 90s, it was the creme de la creme of artists that were putting out their recordings in Q Sound. Let's take a look at all the formats the Immaculate Collection was released on. 1990, it was released on a vinyl LP. This was a double vinyl featuring all 17 tracks. It was released on a double cassette, and when they say double cassette, it was like a double length play cassette. It was not 2 cassettes. It was also released on CD as a standard single disc and a classic is long box packaging. I so wish I had my CD long boxes all the way up till Erotica, I think is the last CD that came in a long box. Google it. If you know, you know. The Royal Box was a special box set issued on December 4th, 1990, which contained the CD and cassette, VHS and poster, and postcards. There were also a couple video formats released in VHS, Laserdisc, and a DVD was released. Subsequently, in 1999, the mini disc was released. In 2005, we got the digital versions that have who knows which versions of Lucky Star and Borderline. In 2023, the Apple Music released Dolby Atmos mix. In 2017, Rhino Records released the blue and gold vinyl pressing, and in 2018, they released 180-gram reissue of the album. There were also some extremely rare and regional editions of it. In 1993, there was an Australian tour edition. This was a limited edition picture disc featuring a gold CD released to commemorate Madonna's visit to Australia during the Girly Show tour. There was also an Israel version. This is a rare CD and cassette pressings that modified the cover design to include titles written in Hebrew. And did you notice on the picture, instead of being baby blue, the dots are navy blue on that one? I think that was an interesting little tweak of the design. There was a double cassette that was housed in a landscape-oriented plastic container. And then there was also the Holiday Collection EP. This was released primarily in Europe to accompany the main album. This EP featured the full-length original version of Holiday, along with 3 hit songs that were left off of the Immaculate Collection, True Blue, Who's That Girl, and a remix of Causing a Commotion. So the look of this album packaging is as iconic as the music itself. Madonna intentionally chose a logo-only cover with Baroque flourishes and a Roman-style font. No photo of her face was used on the front. The blue and gold color palette was chosen to resonate with traditional imagery of the Virgin Mary. The booklet on this album is dedicated to the Pope, my divine inspiration. While the public assumed she was trolling Pope John Paul II after he tried to boycott her Italian shows, it was actually a tribute to her brother, Christopher Ciccone, whose nickname was the Pope. To promote the Immaculate Collection, there were 2 new songs released as singles, Justify My Love and Rescue Me. Justify My Love had a music video featuring imagery of same-sex intimacy. How dare they? There was some S&M, and that was considered too explicit, and it was banned by MTV. But Madonna flipped the controversy into a business win. She released the video as the first ever video single on VHS, and it became the best-selling video single of all time. The controversy propelled Justify My Love to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it her 9th chart-topping single. Looking back, the Immaculate Collection isn't just a best of. It's a time capsule of the 1980s that shows Madonna's progression from a bubblegum pop diva to a rule-breaking icon. It remains the benchmark for all pop compilations that followed. What is your favorite Q Sound remix from the album? Let me know in the comments, guys, and give me some topics you want for the next video. This was actually a suggestion from someone who left a comment on one of my ranking videos. They asked me to do a video explaining what the hell Q Sound was, so I thought, hey, let's do a deep dive of the Immaculate Collection and explain what Q Sound is while we're at it. So if you guys have some ideas, drop them in the comments below as well. I am loving every second of the comments you guys have been leaving for me. Till next time, thanks.